Another Michael Jackson in the making? Well, not quite. Another talented kid blindsided by the industry? Ding ding ding. A young Tevin Campbell got his start like many black artists by singing alongside his mother in their local church choir. The universe worked its magic, and Tevin, with the connections and push from his mom, got the chance to audition via phone call for jazz player Bobby Humphries, who then flew him out to a New York showcase. It was at that showcase that Tevin got his first record deal, an acting gig for the NBC show Wally and the Valentines. Sida Garrett, who was also invited in the show, had connections to the legendary Quincy Jones, advised Quincy to allow Tevin to sing on his album Back on the Block, and the rest was history. Releasing hits like Can We Talk and I'm Ready, Tevin's career, greenlighted by Quincy Jones and The Prince, was on the right track and had the perfect formula to succeed. But along the way, Tevin and his career were swept off course, and he'd involved himself in what they call the dark side of the industry. Drugs, underage partying, jail stints, and molestation rumors had taken over Tevin's life after the release of his first two albums, and rumors surrounding his sexuality were on high alert when he got arrested for soliciting sexual favors in 1999. That topic of conversation was reignited when neo-soul singer and rapper Jaguar Wright said that Tevin used to prostitute himself for drugs on Hollywood Boulevard back in the day. His career was at an all-time high during the early 90s, and he faded away out of the spotlight during his later years, and he has us wondering what exactly happened to him. Little Tevin Campbell would appear on TV shows, movies, make appearances on talk shows like the Arsenio Hall Show, The Apollo, and hella more, all before he could legally drive. His debut album, Tevin, would earn him several Grammy nominations, and his follow-up album, I'm Ready, produced by Quincy, Babyface, Prince, and other legendary producers, has become his highest-charting album to date. He went on to open for acts like Janet Jackson on her Janet World Tour and made guest appearances in episodes of Moesha, as well as voice acted for films like A Goofy Movie. With several Grammy noms under his belt and a superstar team, there was no way that Tevin's mainstream success was folding, and there was nothing that would shake him. But by the time he was just 14, Tevin admitted to being a rebellious industry kid. He'd began drinking and hanging around a much older crowd. After the release of his fourth and most recent album in 1999, the momentum from the first two albums didn't quite stick around, and the public wasn't here for his neo-soul attempt. With his sales not doing so good as they once were, a teenage Tevin was now officially an adult, and he'd begun slowly but surely fading out of the spotlight. He'd pop back up on July of 1999 when it was reported that Tevin had been arrested during a police sting outside of Van Nuys Elementary School in LA for soliciting sexual acts from a male undercover cop. Maybe not the best way someone would want to come out to the public. In result, Tevin was ordered to attend Narcotics Anonymous meetings and an AIDS awareness class after giving a misdemeanor and pleading no contest. After the incident, Tevin faded away from the spotlight altogether until he decided to partake in a 2003 interview with Sister to Sister magazine, where he was asked about his sexuality. I'm not gay, but there are a lot of different things that I do like sexually. Being in the business, you're introduced to a lot of different things. I'm trying a lot of things, being open-minded. It has nothing to do with attraction. It's just having fun, and I did a lot of that on the road with dancers. Later in that same interview, he describes himself as a trisexual. In an interview with IMisTheOldSchool.com, the 1999 incident was brought up once again, and in response, Tevin stated that, I was driving around drunk, doing drugs. I had too much time on my hands, and I got caught doing something I shouldn't have been doing. It has nothing to do with who I am today or my sexuality or whether I'm gay or straight. When asked whether or not he actually is a gay man, he said, that's nobody's business. If someone was interested in me and they want to be my friend or whatever, then we can talk. It's nobody's business what I like to do behind closed doors. I don't care what people think of me. I like a lot of different things, you have no idea. But that was all part of acting out and just being lost. And I got into a whole bunch of more trouble after that, which no one even knew about. I mean jail and really bad stuff. God was talking to me and telling me you better watch it. That arrest was just the beginning of a long road. Tevin again remained out the limelight for years until 2005 when he was cast as Seaweed in the Broadway musical Hairspray. In 2009, he made an appearance at the 2015 BET Soul Train Awards where he performed his song Can We Talk alongside producer Babyface. The following year, he made an appearance on the Monique Show in 2010 and performed at the annual Essence Music Festival in 2014. After a Twitter user, in true Twitter fashion, tweeted that someone suggested Tevin Campbell to sing at Aretha's tribute, under what rock did they pull that name from? Director-filmmaker Ava DuVernay stuck to her word and cast Tevin in several episodes of the Oprah Winfrey Network show Queen Sugar after she tweeted, rebuking any Tevin Campbell slander from millennials and plotting to write him into an episode of Queen Sugar somehow. In that same year, Tevin's name trended worldwide yet again when excerpts from a Quincy Jones interview he had done with Vulture magazine spread like wildfire around Blue Ivy's internet. In the interview, revelations about Quincy's past dating history with Ivanka Trump, industry tea about Marlon Brando sleeping with Richard Pryor, other industry folks, how he thought the Beatles were the worst group in the world, and a whole lot more were disclosed. I guess this prompted folks to bring up Tevin, but Tevin quickly shut down the rumors when he tweeted, "Now I'm trending, folks will really say some disgusting things. Tevin was molested by Quincy, GTFOH with the devil. God is pushing the bad in our face to make us fight back." As of late, Tevin has been making rounds performing at events, weddings, and is recently scheduled to perform at R&B Rewinds and Music Fest alongside R&B icons Bobby Brown, Genuine, Jodeci, and more. Things were a little shaky for Tevin for a while, but from the looks of it, he seems to be genuinely enjoying his life back in the public. Despite his trials and tribulations, he was able to turn his life around for the better and find his way back to himself. Being a young rising talent in the music industry can be a hassle for anybody, especially if you don't have the proper guidance and support of trusting adults backing you. For Tevin, although he had the support of his mom and others, he'd not only end up off track, he'd end up on an entirely different course. The conversation surrounding his sexuality has been up for debate for years, and unfortunately for him, he'd come victim to a society that viewed homosexuality as a huge no-no. His music career had taken a blow due to drunken mistakes he'd participate in, but throughout the years he dipped his toe back into his first love, which was singing. Although he's never officially come out as gay, the looks of his Instagram and Twitter accounts display the rainbow flag, and one could only assume what that means. As Campbell himself said, "Y'all homophobes gotta do better. The thing you will never ever be able to say about me is, that boy can't sing. That's the day I'll be sitting at home, crying, and that day will be never." I think we can all agree that the 90s gave us some of the best records and artists of our lifetime, and Tevin's discography fits right into that description. We're just happy that he's finally living in his truth, and that we're finally progressing in a society that doesn't view sexuality as a taboo subject. Did any of this surprise you? Let us know what you think down below in the comments, and stay tuned for more true celebrity stories.